Welcome everybody to the Falcon One Shot. I'm your host Falcon. This right here is the Great Whale Road, and I gotta be honest with you right now, this right here is a super fun title. However, I will admit right off the bat, it's not a title for everybody. If you're more into like action-oriented games, you might not enjoy the Great Whale Road too much. However, on the flip side, if you enjoy games like the Banner Saga and especially King of Dragon Pass, you'll definitely enjoy the Great Whale Road. This is a game that's still in early access. There's a lot of development going on for it for now, but it finally hit Steam Early Access. I've had my hands on it for a while before, but I didn't want to, make a video on it just yet. I was hoping for a couple of like updates here and there to kind of fix a couple of things I had a few issues with, but it's looking all right. I'm hoping that going forward, the development actually picks up a bit more and addresses a few things here and there. But it's a game I definitely want to keep my eyes on, so I'd figure I'd show it to you guys as well, in case it's something that kind of flew under your radar. So for now, let's go into a new campaign. I will let you know, however, start journey. We have the Danes. There's a couple of other tribes you're able to pick, but you're not available to choose them just yet because, again, as I mentioned, early access development, so on and so forth. We have the Danes. The Danes settling in Isfarstead. Oh my god, I'm going to mispronounce a lot of these words, aren't I? Are hardy folks, and they have to be. Their hamlet is close to the Saxon borderlands, and they aren't far from a major trading route, which connects Dorstead in the south with Ribe in the north. All this makes it a prime target for opportunistic or cross-border raids. Start our journey. Now, as I mentioned, it's a game that takes a while to get going. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to show off in this one single video alone, but I hope to get some progress done for you guys. There's a combat mechanic as well, which I don't think we'll be able to cover in this video because I only have so much time to do these one-shots for you. The leaves have started to change their color, but the ship has not returned. The Jarl had left early in the season with his Huskarls and most of the experienced warriors. A messenger from his brother had asked him to travel south of the land of the Saxons with haste. By the way, I really hate how this is set up, like over here behind this colorful background. It's very hard to read. I mean, it's not too hard, but it's kind of like, more of a hassle than it really should be. So yeah, you can read the rest of it if you want to. I'd read all of that, but as I mentioned, there's a lot to show off in this game, and I need to kind of make progress to show you a lot of it, so we're going to show up over here. Now, if you are unfamiliar with King of Dragon Pass, it is mostly a very text-based sim, colony type of building game, a lot of reading, a lot of choices, and a lot of skills and stuff like that, and decisions, essentially. Very, very filled with decisions, I should say. The Elders and Katil decided who will have to become the new leader. The village is not defenseless, but its defenses have been seriously weakened. The new leader will have to train a new warband and be prepared for winter raids, especially once the news of your loss spreads to the nearby clans. Everyone who can hold a spear or shoot a bow is welcome to join, because weapon skill is easier acquired than bravery. So this is obviously a big impact based on the story that we were kind of reading just before that. And here you're going to make a choice, who you want to be the new leader. We have Floki, deserves a chance. He spends more time playing the lyre than on the practice field, but he is the nephew of the Jarl and deserves a chance of leadership. And we also have Bera, is a good choice. She is tough and wise. She had led her family for many winters and knows how to use an axe. So, Bera is indeed more of a, warrior-oriented individual, while Floki is more of a kind of like a diplomatic type of dude. He is the nephew of the Jarl, so that alone should probably give him some chance of leading the cause over here. I did Bera off camera, so I'm going to swap it up this time around and do Floki and see if anything actually changes. But Bera's a really good choice, mind you. Someone gives you an old but well-oiled blade. Together with everyone in the hall, you swear that you will not rest until the dead have been revenged. Your oath is to Odin, but some of you follow other gods. Everyone shouts, Floki! And then quickly loses interest as the drinking starts, of course. Alrighty, so winter planning. Winter is indeed coming, mind you. The winter meeting of the clan is where you will plan the development of your settlement. At the moment we have 35 population, food stacks, silver, and supplies. These are your current resources up here, and we have a couple of focus points which will be used to level up going forward. What kind of stuff we want to focus on during the winter time? Do we want to be farming oriented, hunting, defenses, diplomatic, a lot of choices obviously. Here we have farming, husbandry, hunting, warfare, diplomacy, traditions, craftsmanship. That's what we talked about. Again, you can read this if you want to give a better idea of what does what. And then food required. This is how much food you will need to survive winter and summer as well. Alrighty, very good. I would read every single thing on screen, but I want to make progress enough to show you more of the game, so I'll let you guys pause and read whenever you feel you need to do so. So over here, you start off with 10 focus points that you want to definitely just spread around. The first time around, I went very farming-oriented, and it worked out pretty well for me. But again, I want to try something different this time around, since we have Floki, who's more of a maybe diplomatic guy. So how about we start using some for diplomacy? Better relationship with your neighbors, and better prices when trading. So let's go to diplomacy. We'll drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof. Now, if you've noticed, you see a couple of arrows over on this side. By increasing our focus points into diplomacy, we're obviously increasing our diplomatic bonus when we're doing trades, which is good. But you're probably seeing these little arrows over here too. This means that you're actually acquiring more bards. So, for instance, we went up to farming and I dumped in like 2 points into there. We actually got 1 extra farmer for the next coming winter. So instead of 3, we'll have 4. And the same could be done with husbandry down here. We'll have 5 shepherds as opposed to 4. And it'll tell me about my food stocks as well. So, yeah, that's one way to kind of go about it. We have 1 point left over. I don't think we can do much with only 1 point. So we could toss it somewhere else. Hey, you know what? If we actually go into husbandry, we would probably get an extra shepherd as well, which is going to be for milk, eggs, and the occasional meat. They're kind of like the I guess, animal farmers, and well, you have the legit farming up here too. I like traditions as well. Happier folks and more children survive. It's basically a big focus on the priest and also fevers and stuff like that. I like that one too, but let's go with 2, 2, and 5 in diplomatic relation. Oh, you have 1 point. Right, let's go to farming. No. Let's do... There you go. An extra shepherd. Why not? None for warfare, so if we get attacked, we might be a bit outnumbered. But you know what? Let's give it a try. Why not? Winter has arrived, finally. The weather at land might still be pleasant enough, but the whale road turns into an angry and fickle beast once the leaves change color. And this is where you start getting a bunch of different events, so you have to make decisions and stuff like that. The roof of one of the storage huts has been carried away by gales of wind overnight. A month's worth of oats have been soaked by the rain. You have to salvage as much as you can, or folks will starve. So, move the oats to the hall and dry it in patches close to the fires. Leave the oats in the hut after the roof is fixed to get some of the utes to shift it once a day. Or move the oats to a dry hut and make sure it is well aired. I like the idea of the third one, to be honest with you. Having it close to the fire makes me worry a bit. You lose some of the oats, but you can prevent mold from spreading. Okay, that's relatively good. We did lose 20 food right there. One of those options will give you like plus 50 food, but I do believe it's very heavily RNG based, so sometimes the choice you make will be positive, but another run it could be negative. You know, RNG, what can you do? The hens of your biggest flock have stopped laying eggs. One of the elders confirms your suspicion. All the chickens have worms! So, we could crush some garlic cloves into the water of the chickens, we could sacrifice one of the chickens, and have a feast tonight. Well, that is an option indeed. Let's go ahead and crush some garlic cloves into the water of the chickens, maybe that'll heal them up. The chickens don't seem worse off, and there are more worms in their shite. Well, we got plus 50 food at the very least, so that's fine. I'll accept it. Even though they're over here pooping worms. 2 of your oxen have fever, and 1 of your horses is in the same stable has died. You have heard of a plague befalling animals, but the last time it occurred in your area was before living memory. So, fever on the oxen, and 1 of the horses is dead. You decide to slaughter and roast the oxen. The healer burns some holy herbs to try and cure them, and you sacrifice the 2 oxen and burn the carcasses. So, this means no threat whatsoever to us, but obviously we're missing food and then animals. As I mentioned, had I gone with the traditional one and gotten the priest thing, we probably would have had a better success at curing them, because we'd have like some sort of, I guess, prior experience with herbs and medicine and stuff like that. So a lot of this is definitely based on the decisions you made on your initial like startup sheet, I guess you would call it that. Let's go ahead and just slaughter and roast the oxen at the very least here. One of the graybeards tells you not to eat the meat, and you reluctantly burn them outside. Oh, so that was not a good choice. At least, thankfully, one of the graybeards kept me from making the wrong choice here. So here we go. We have 5 pelts over here as well from hunting, I want to say. So spring has finally arrived. That was our winter. That was the events for winter. We now have an extra farmer, we have 2 extra shepherds, and we actually have 1 extra bard as well. Savings from last year, 1,700 food barrels. We also got some winter production of 547 food barrels, so during winter we were definitely producing. Consumed during winter, 1,460. Left for summer, 787. So pretty good, I'm going to say. Absolutely good. And this will tell you the events of what happened during winter right there. So the Scalds sing songs about your deeds, and everyone in the Longhouse drinks to your health. So we did relatively good for our first season, but again, it's the first one, so it's kind of easy on you. Home settlement. Is your home settlement here? You can view your warband stats? Okay. So, down here, journal. It'll tell us about our first journey. We're going to be going over to a neighbor town to, either aggravate them or establish a relationship for trading and stuff like that. Which obviously we want to keep it kind of diplomatic since it's our focus after all. So we could set journey right now if we wanted to. However, let's go over to the map here as well. From the map screen you can see which known locations have quests for you to complete. Right. So here we have Dankerk. It's very dank over at Dankerk, if you didn't know. That's us right here. As basically we'll just ship ourselves over to Dankerk. I'm pretty sure this is one we're going to right now, so that's perfectly okay. Close this map off. And over here we have settlement storage. Let's see what this is all about here. This is going to be for us to know what our inventory is looking like. You could take some food on our trip, because we're going to have to go by boat, or ship, I guess. We have to take some food for the people to, eat during that trip over to Dankerk. You also have to take some items for trading. And obviously there's going to be a limitation how much you can actually take with you as well. So there is that. Blacksmith over here. Let's see. We can make a couple of weapons for our warband when we get into combat, so definitely a good thing to do. But, let's see. We could do a war axe, which is something that you don't have equipped, right? What do you have at the moment? You have a long axe. We can make ourselves a war axe, which is definitely more attack power, more accurate as well. It's going to cost me 80, and we only have 89, so really expensive for now. What about the oak club? You could use an oak club. That's going to be basically the same, same as our long axe. However, this has an assault of 1 attack, 15% broken ribs, 15% internal bleeding, while the long axe is going to be 15% broken leg and 15% broken shield. When you're doing combat, you get to focus on different parts of your enemy's bodies, which will actually make sure that they move less, they hit you not as hard, recovery, stuff like that. So a lot of these attacks will be actually pinpointed at a certain part of the body, which is actually pretty neat. So, at the moment, we're kind of broke, so I'm going to say no, and here is our warband. Your heroes are essential to complete your quest. You guys could read that if you want to over here. Penalties, so on and so forth. Okay. For now, we're going to go ahead and start our quest, I'm going to say. So, let's go over to the journal. First journey, the more experienced warriors will share their knowledge with you. You have to learn a lot, and the new warband with you. Embark on your first sea journey. Travel to Dankerk, set journey off. Before you can leave on a journey, you need to make preparations, choose which heroes you'll be taking, and also food, provisions, and trading goods as we talked about. So, let's see. The more people you have, the safer you will be, but the more food you require as well. Let's see if we could add, maybe one more warrior. Let's take Floki because, he is the... Well, the Floki's already there. We have Boggy, Bera. Remember, Bera was the other person that was actually possible for us to lead the current warband over here, but we went with Floki instead. So let's take Bera because Bera was actually pretty good, I'm going to say. So you go up there, and we'll just take 3 people. And let's see, in terms of our goods, we could carry up to 90. We want to take some food for us to eat, obviously, and we have a lot of capacity left over. Let's do maybe a couple more pelts after all, and keep the salt. Take some more food just to be on the safe side. 87 of 90, good enough. So a bit of a correction, you do have to take all 4 individuals. I thought you could kind of limit it. I know for future journeys you could kind of limit if you want to go with 3 or less, or 4 or less I should say, but for the first one apparently you need all 4 of them. So I picked up an extra person, and we're going to start setting off on our journey over here. Your new crew must learn the ropes and will get a chance to buy some equipment with whatever meager funds you have available. Most of the good mail was lost in your father's warband, and apart from Cato's Barney, all is rusty and in poor shape. Luckily, there are plenty of spears and shields left, a few war axes, and even fewer swords. Alrighty. So over here, everybody has their own morale system as well, so keep that in mind. Ship crew, food stock, etc., etc., and over here we have morale and health and stuff like that, which you can actually note that are here. So this will be HP, energy, and essentially morale, how they're feeling and stuff like that. You spot a shipwreck on the coast. The wood from the ship doesn't look rotten. It must be recent. What should your crew do? I will swim across and search the boat. Don't bother, they belong to Rand now. We should search for survivors. Let's go ahead and search for survivors, why not? Anchor close by and see if there's anything valuable left. Let's go with the set last one, actually. So we have a timer remind you in order to decide what we want to do. Survivor sounds good, but it also means like more mouths to feed. I want to go for the supplies, so let's go with valuables instead. You find a barrel with meat and some salted fish. Very nice. Now this is the part where you want to make sure you have a little bit of room in your boat, because when you ran into random quests or events like that, if you don't have any room, you obviously cannot pick up extra items. And we're almost over to Dankerk already. That was actually kind of faster than I'm accustomed to. And as you saw, we actually used up some food there on our journey. Obviously, we brought more food than we needed to, but whatever. It was a short trip to Dankerk, the seat of an underking and a beach market. It is small. It is a small marketplace, but well maintained. The beach can be accessed freely, but any attacker would be a practice target for every warrior with a throwing spear or bow behind a ramp and palisade. The hall itself is on a low hill behind a separate wall. For many of you, this is the first time you have left the island in your life, and Kato tells you not to wander off on your own. Alrighty. Dankerk. He's a Dankerk, is what he is. Now, I like the art style of the game. I really wish some of the stuff in the background was kind of like animated, like just like small little animations left and right. You know, just make it seem like the area is kind of like vibrant and full of life. But yeah, just a small little thing on me. The art is still actually really appealing, but just a small little thing I would do, if possible, anyway. Camps and settlements. So we have traders here. We have hunting. We could actually go hunting ourselves if we feel the need to, which is all based on our energy and how our morale is doing. We could go over to a hall and actually get some sleep. Tavern to actually talk tales with other individuals. This is a good way to actually find information and also make new friends that way. Blacksmith will be to, make weapons. And then repair, if we need to actually repair our ship, we could do so at the repair shop, assuming we have the tools and supplies needed for them. Let's see, these tasks will either spend or recover the assigned hero's adventure stats. To confirm all your assignments, press the stay overnight button. Alrighty. Just as you reach the market area, you fall into your face and straight into a dung heap. You wipe the shit from your face while ignoring the raucous laughter all around you. The warriors have tripped you, kicks you viciously in the stomach, and you wonder what qualifies as a warm welcome here. You are embarrassed but also relieved when you hear Kato's voice. He urges the warrior to continue if he wants to be gelded. Is that how you welcome a fellow Danish traders here nowadays? Take a swipe at the nearest warrior or stay down and let Kato deal with it? Well, you know what? I want to establish my dominance over here, so take a swipe. It might not have been wise, but you have to restore your status. Exactly. Is that going to put me into combat or something, or what? Oh, it is! Hey, you guys get to see a little bit of the combat. We're almost out of time, but this actually worked out pretty good. Normally, Did I get that last time? I don't remember ever getting into combat this early on. Well, very good. It works out for the video at the very least. So over here, it'll tell you about the cards, how they work out. It'll tell you the effect down here, the card type, a little bit of flavor text. Up in the upper left corner will be the turn restriction. Essentially, you have certain cards that you use in combat in the turn-based grid system, but certain cards cannot be used until a particular round comes up. So, for instance, over here, Veteran Warrior, I would not be able to use them until round 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, off the books for us. Alrighty. And it's some more you could pause and read if you want to over here. We probably will not do the entire battle because we're almost out of time, but I'm actually happy we got some combat in here. I was not expecting that to actually happen, so that's pretty cool. So, we're in the first round. The only thing we can do is actually summon Kato, so we shall. So he is going to be a heavy, 9 of 11 HP, 2 of 4 defense. Defense tells you how often you have a chance of blocking certain attacks and stuff like that. The range of his attack and how many moves he can make. Accuracy as well. His weapon aims at the meniscus and it pierces feet as well, I guess I should say. And there you have it with him. I'm going to have him spawn right next to me right here. Now we have Protector and Cautious Move. Not until level 5, so what I will do for now is actually choose you. Put it back into our decks for future use, if anything else. And that'll be it. This is a counter. You have to make your moves before this counter actually clocks down, so there's a bit of a time system involved here. Now this guy's moved forward, which is alright. Back to us. Let's have you start making some headway up through here, my friend, and then you will follow along, Kato. And we have a 5-6-5. None of these can be used, so might as well just shuffle these guys back into our deck. And it's our turn right here, so end turn for now. Now, I'm not sure if he'll be able to do so, but enemies will kind of be like you, and that they'll draw cards themselves. You can't see them, obviously, but they'll draw cards, and they'll be able to actually make moves like we're doing. They'll be actually able to summon other individuals. If somebody has like a raiding party, that's how they'll do it as well. They'll kind of have like their own deck, which you can't see, and it's all RNG based. Sometimes they can overpower you, sometimes they can't. You know, a little bit of a grab bag for us here. This is a level 3 card, which we can probably use. So you know what? Let's go ahead and shuffle this back in, but we'll hold on to 3, and then our turn right here. Oh, I keep forgetting to move. Well, technically, oh! He got a little bit of backup, as I mentioned. And he buffed himself up. Ooh, he is coming with the big guns now, huh? Now, fortunately for us, we should be able to reach him next turn and get an attack in. And that's probably where we'll probably end up wrapping up this video here. Just want to show you some of the damage as well. And we're in round 4, so we cannot use Protector or Brutal Strike, but we can use the Blooded Warrior, which is going to be a +1 to attack until the beginning of your next turn. Alrighty, but for now, let's move forward here first, and my friend, up towards here. You follow suit, Kato. So let's go in for the attack over here, and we obviously want to go with Homeboy. Although, wait a second here. Should we start off with you instead, Floki? Let's just start off with Kato. So, we have 2 strikes. One, as we mentioned, is going to be bleeding, and the other one's going to be Pierce Foot. One is actually higher than the other one. So we have a blunt attack and a piercing one as well. Apparently, piercing does a lot better, especially better accuracy, so we'll go with piercing instead. And we hit him 3 times. Very nice. He didn't block any of those. He's got 11 of 14 HP. Very high defense because he used that card in himself, too. So with that said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here for this one. I'm glad that I got some of the combat in there at the very least. As I mentioned, it's more of a turn-based strategy system, so it might not be a game for everybody very, very easily, not very action-oriented. But if you're a fan of like King of Dragon Pass and Banner Saga, I think you'll definitely enjoy this. You know, animations would be nice, I will admit, but, you know, it is what it is. All the information for the game will be down below if you want to follow it. Early access title, more development to come ahead, but definitely a fun little title if you're into this type of games. I will catch you next time.